Okay, so we're going to go over the definitions of geometry. I hope you can hear me. We're going to go over basic geometry definitions. Make sure as we're going over this that you are writing the definitions down, okay? So in geometry, we have some names for figures and other terms that are already familiar in everyday life. For example, a ray, like a beam of light. So here are some basic geometry terms. You will want to write down the terms and the geometric and draw your example, which is under geometric figure. And definitely you want to know the ways we name these figures. So first we're going to start with a point. A point is a specific location. It has no dimension, meaning it has no shape or size, and is represented by a dot. And here's our example for a geometric figure. So right here where you see your example, go ahead and draw it, okay, on the geometric figure. So draw your example for a point. It's represented by a dot. And we always use a capital letter to name a point. And here's how we would name this point. In particular, we'll name it point P. Proceed to write your definition, the figure, as well as the different ways in which you can name it. Next, we have a line. A line is a connected straight path that has no thickness and continues forever in both directions. So a line is a straight path with no thickness and continues forever in both directions. And here's what a line would look like over here. So we have this line, and we can name this line either line L, as you see written over here. So your line will have a name, line L, but you can also name a line with any 2 points on the line. So it doesn't matter the orientation. So we can name this line L, line AB, or line BA, as you can see over here. Another shorthand notation is you can write AB and draw a little line notation on the top. Notice it has 2 arrows at the end because the line never stops. Or BA, doesn't matter, and draw your line notation at the top. So go ahead and write down your definition for a line, draw your figure, and write down the names for which, the ways in which you can name this line. You can pause the video at this point to continue with it. Next, we have a plane. A plane is a flat surface, and it has no thickness and extends forever in both directions. So this is an example of a plane. It's just a 2-dimensional space. It's a flat surface, has no thickness, and it will go forever up, down. It will go forever left, right, in all directions. You can name a plane. The plane will usually have its own name in capital letters, italicized in capital letter. And here we have the plane name right there, plane R. But you can also name a plane with any 3 non-collinear points on the plane. Non-collinear just simply means your points are not on the same line. So with any 3 points in the plane, you can name your plane as long as they're not on the same line. So we could call this plane plane R or plane XYZ. And typically we like to put it in alphabetical order. Now go ahead and write your terms, draw your figure, and go ahead and write the different ways in which you can name the figure. You may pause the video if you need to. Alright, further undefined terms we might want to talk about is a line segment and a ray. A line segment is just a segment of a line, a portion of a line, meaning it has a starting point and an end point. Because remember, a line never ends. But when we take a piece of that line, it's going to have 2 endpoints. going to have where it starts at and where it ends at, or just, we call them two endpoints. So go ahead and write the definition of a line. Line segment is a portion of a line with 2 points, 2 endpoints, and all the points in between. And then draw your figure and write the different ways in which we can name this line segment. So similar to a line, we can name the line segment with the 2 endpoints. So we can name this line segment line CD or line D. And similar to a line, the orientation of the letters does not matter. So we can name it line CD or line DC. Now notice the shorthand for this, which is, as mathematicians, we don't like to write too much. So we have a shorthand for almost everything. So most likely what you will see is the shorthand, okay? So we can just write CD and just put your line segment notation on top. That's your shorthand for it. Or DC, put your line segment notation. Now notice the difference between this and the line notation. Notice this does not have an arrow at the end because we have 2 endpoints. Whereas a line will have 2 arrows, right? Because it continues forever. So please notice the difference. Line segment, write down your definition, draw your figure, and write down the ways in which you can name the figure. Next, we have array. Array is a portion of a line that starts at a point, which we usually call the endpoint, and continues forever in one direction. So here we have array PQ. And you can name an array with one of the endpoints and 1 point on the array. The root word for array is Ra, and if you know a little bit of Egyptology, then you would know Ra is the sun god, right? So you have Ra as the sun god. So imagine sun rays. Sun rays have one start endpoint, and then they go forever. And they go forever through our planet, really, through us to the core of our planet. So that's like the sun, right? And the rays is coming. So just like that, we have a ray is a portion of a line that has a start point and goes forever, continues forever in one direction. And this ray right here, we'll call this ray PQ. So go ahead and write your example and the ways in which you can name the figure. Okay, so now that you understand the definitions, we're going to go ahead and use these definitions that we have written down for specifically the definitions we have written down for points, lines, and planes to complete this worksheet complete the assignment called points, line, and plane. So let's go ahead and complete that assignment together. So I'll just go ahead and pull it up now. Please have your definitions for yourself, okay? All right. All right. So here we have, I want you now to go ahead and answer these questions. So I'm going to let you take about a minute and think about it. What is the point? We just went over the definition of the point. It has no what? And you always use a capital letter to it. Yeah. So take about 10 seconds to think about it. Well, going back to our definition, we have a point is a what? Specific location. All right, so that's what we're going to put. That's what we're going to fill in. Point is a location. And to be more, we'll say a point is a specific location. It has no what? Let's go back to our definition. It has no dimension. So you can put dimension, but remember I told you dimension is like saying no shape or size. So we're just going to write no shape or size. or you're free to write dimension, and I'll take either one. We always use a capital letter to name a point, and this point in our example, this point over here, what could we name this point as? If you said point A, you're right. So we'll go ahead and write that in. Point, capital letter A. So go ahead and fill that out if you have the worksheet. If you're working on it on your own paper, write your answer down. Let's proceed to the next topic. We have a line is made up of. So a line is made up of what? A line is made up of infinite many points. So it's made up of a lot of points, okay? So go ahead and put infinite many points. It keeps going forever. It's just a whole bunch of points together, and that makes your line, okay? How many points can form a line? How many do you think? If you said 2, you're correct. Any 1, 2 points, between any 2 points, there always exists a line. A line has no what? Well, let's look at the definition. A line is a straight path with no thickness, right? And it continues forever in both directions. So we'll go back to this. A line has no thickness. We're just going to put thickness, and I will take that. So for example, this line over here, we could call this line what? It has a name right here, right? So we could call it line N. If you say line N, good. Or we could call it line, you can name a line with any 2 points on it. So what are my 2 points on line N? X and Y, good. So we can name it line XY or line YX, right? It doesn't matter the orientation. I'll use our shorthand, which is what most mathematicians would do. So we would just say XY and draw your line notation on the top. Just draw your line on the top of it. Or YX and draw your line. Awesome. Go ahead and fill that out. Does everybody have all of this? All right. So let's go ahead and proceed to the next definition, which is the definition of a plane. A plane is a what? Look at your definition notes. If you said flat surface, you're right. You said a plane is a flat surface, right? With no thickness that stands forever in all directions. Good. So we're going to go back to it. All right. A plane is a flat surface. How many points do you think we need to make up a plane? I think I said this earlier. You need at least 3 non-collinear points. So any 3 points that are not on the same line can make up a plane. So go ahead and write it down. A plane extends indefinitely in all directions. And let's look at this example. Coplanar points. So if you need what coplanar points are. Coplanar points are points on the same plane. Non-coplanar points are points that do not lie on the same plane. So for example, this plane right here, it has a name already, right? If you see over here, we have plane P, right? So we're just going to write plane P. Remember, the plane is just a flat surface, like a sheet of paper that goes forever in all directions. So usually a plane name will be capitalized, will be italicized and capital. And we know points are always capital letter. So and represented by dots. So here we have 3 points in our plane P, right? J, K, and L. You can always name a plane either with the plane name, which we have plane P, or we can also name it with the 3 points on there. Just like our example, we had plane R, and they also named it plane XYZ. So this plane can be named plane P or plane JKL. So what have we discussed so far? We've discussed that a point is a what? Specific location, good, with no dimension. And we always use capital letters to name a point. A line is made up of what? Infinite many points, good. And how many points make a line? Any 2 points. Awesome. Also, what other stuff have we discussed? We've also discussed that a plane is a what? Flat surface, good. And any 3 points make up a plane, good. And we can name a plane with any 3 points on the plane. Now let's look at this. Please look at your picture. We have 2 lines intersect at a what? So look at this line R and line S. Where do they intersect? Do they intersect at a point? Intersect means touch. So where do my 2 lines R and S touch? Do they intersect at a point, line, or plane? Good. If you said point, awesome. 2 lines intersect at a point. All right, next let's go to planes. 2 planes intersect at a what? Well, let's look at our picture. Remember, a plane is a flat surface that goes on forever, right? So we have plane L over here, right? And plane M. And when they intersect is when they meet. So they meet over here. So when they intersect to form what? A line. Good job. So 2 planes intersect at a line. Go ahead and make sure you have all your answers to this work written down. Now, if you would like to submit this work with the answers on there, I'll quickly show you how you can type in your answers on there. So what you can do is go ahead and go into your class. So we're just going to click next. And this is points, lines, and planes. How you can go ahead and submit it and type in a way where you can type up your answers is you can just go ahead and download. So you would first click this arrow going down over here in the corner. Sorry about that, excuse me. First, go ahead and click this arrow over here and click it so your file will download. Once you've done that, then you want to go ahead and click on up here at Start Assignment. So go ahead and click up there at Start Assignment. Once you click Start Assignment, you're going to upload the file you just downloaded. I know it's not filled out. It's called Points, Lines, and Planes. Upload it. We know it's not filled out, but there's a way you can fill it out on here, and that's what I'm showing you. And just go ahead and submit it. Once you have submitted the PDF, you want to go ahead Mine is down here because my screen is a little bigger. But for you guys, it will be to the right. Hold on. For you guys, it will be to the right. But you want to go to the right and click on, sorry. You want to click on submission. I'm trying to find it right now. You want to click on submission details to the right. Mine is down, but yours should be to the right. Once you click on submission details, you're going to click right here on view feedback. Once you click on view feedback, wait for your feedback to load. Then you're going to click this arrow to expand your feedback. Once you have done that, just wait for it to load. Once it loads, you're going to go ahead and click on, after you click on view feedback, you're going to go ahead and click this T up here for text and just click a different color than black so that you can see it. Then it will help you be able to type your name. So you can type on your PDF. So you can just go ahead and submit the empty PDF. Go to grade submission. Then go to view feedback, expand it, and click on text. So now we can put in our answers we already went over. So we had specific location, has no shape or size. No dimension. An example, the example to the left, we can call that point, capital letter A. Now with the shorthand notation, you wouldn't be able to write that in text. So if you want to use the shorthand notation, you will have to write on your own piece of paper and take a picture and submit, and that's fine. A line is made up of many points. A line is made up of infinite many points. Or just put points, that's fine. Any 2 points form a line. A line has no thickness. Example, we have line L-I-N-E, line N over here. Or we can also call it line, we can call this example line N or line XY. It's capital X and capital Y. Or line YX, right? As long as there are any 2 points on your line. And you can fill out the rest of it. But I was just showing you how you can edit a PDF. Once you're done with it, you want to go ahead and condense it. Click those 2 hours to condense it. And you want to go over here to the right and click on save. So once you click on save, it'll automatically save for you. Once you click on save, it'll automatically save. Now I should be able to see what you put in the text box. But if you want to make sure, you can click over here at resubmit. Go to the right on your computer where it says submission details. I'm just going to go down because it's down on mine. But you would go to the right on yours where it says submission details, and you would view feedback again. And this time it should have, you would scroll down to make sure it has what you wrote down. So you see how it has what I wrote down there? That's exactly how your teacher would see it. So that's how I would see it. All right, hope this helps.